The year was 2022. The month, October. We had no idea what was coming from this artist. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Lily and I'm a voice teacher and performance coach based out of Canada. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are getting into something really interesting, something really fun, a fun concept that I thought I would do. At the time of my filming, it's now October, and we're getting into this month that last year was quite profound because we received 4 different songs from Joshua Bassett. They just happened. There was no warning. Last year, October of 2022, we got 4 incredible songs from him. So I thought I would do kind of like a review, analysis, recap of a year later. Do these songs still hold up? I have a feeling they do, but let's get into it. But before I get into my video today, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you who are subscribed and liking and commenting, engaging with my videos. I appreciate all your feedback and support. And if you aren't already and you are liking what you're seeing, or you've seen a video of mine in the past, you should definitely subscribe to my channel because I post a lot of content like this pretty regularly, and click that post notifications button so you can get notified every single time I upload a new video. This kind of a video is a newer concept for me, so please bear with me as I stumble my way through this. But basically what I want to do is I want to get into all 4 songs that were released in the month of October of last year and talk about them a bit, see if they still hold up today, and talk about, the themes on top of also just his vocal quality, his lyricism, all that good stuff, to just see if this is still, if it's still what we think it's going to be, if it's still good. It's going to be good though, don't worry. You can probably click off now and just be like, yeah, I know they're good. Okay, so on October 6th of 2022, Joshua Bassett released the first of the 4 singles that he released in October of 2022, which was Would You Love Me Now? So we're going to get into that song first. This is a very interesting title to me, just upon first, reactions, because, I believe at that time I didn't know that there was any love interest in sight, but I believe this is kind of getting into some older situations that he's revisiting and writing about. So let's get into Would You Love Me Now?
I never wrote the letter that I swore I'd send. I never got to tell you what I really meant. I'm passing Pasadena, do you still live in LA? 'Cause I can't help but think of all the things that I would say. If I showed up at your doorstep, would you turn me away? Oh, or would you care to see a stranger whose eyes are still the same? Oh, take me or leave me, I'm going home, but I'd rather be going your way.
This is so beautiful already, really, truly.
Would you love me now? Take me back to when we were young again, darling. Would you love me now? After everything, would you let me in and love me now?
All right, that is that first minute. Wow. Okay, there's just a lot of really nice lyricism going on in this song already. I'm just gonna go back a little bit just so I can see those lyrics on the screen. I never wrote the letters I swore I'd send. I never told you what it really meant. Passing Pasadena, do you still live in LA? I love what he's going for here, this theme of regrets, but also getting into, would you take me back because I'm a different person now? Just a lot of really nice themes coming into play regarding love, losing that love, rejection, lots of very cool stuff going on right now. And we're also getting into that, especially in the chorus, a really nice part of Joshua Bassett's voice, especially when he goes into the would you love me now, is really beautiful, really just utilizing his gorgeous falsetto that he has to get up to that higher part of the song, the jump, the Would you love me now? It's really breathtakingly beautiful. It just really gives a nice, like, almost like ethereal feel to the song. And I really like it. So let's keep listening. Let's keep listening.
Everything, would you let me in and love me now? We made ourselves a promise we would stay in touch. So if
I just want to say a quick little thing. I like his little interjections in between like verses and lyrics of him doing like just vocalizing. Like he did a little like solo for me, and earlier he did like some woes and stuff in the chorus, and it's just really nice. It's really sounding nice.
If we're being honest, that's on both of us. Oh,
here we go, we got another one.
And I still got the Converse that I wore the day we met. I'm running out of reasons not to do it all again. So if I showed up,
I really appreciate the production of this song. I really appreciate how it builds in the verse, and then when we get into the chorus, there's like almost this like very interesting, I don't know the real terminology, but there's like this boom, and it plays well with the rest of the overall song's vibe. Like the chorus, I think for me is like the most impactful section. If I showed up at your doorstep, would you turn me away? Oh, would you care to? Like, I think everybody can relate to that feeling of encountering somebody you haven't seen in a while, but you still want to have some sort of connection to. And I think that sort of build and then like also release on the production side is it's using like these production elements to tell the overall story of the song that's already being told with the lyrics, but the sounds are also like helping towards that story, which is really cool.
at your doorstep, would you turn me away? Oh, or would you care to see a stranger whose eyes are still the same? Oh, take me or leave me, I'm going home, but I'd rather be going your way. So would you love me now? Take me back to when we were young again, darling. Would you love me now?
So beautiful, that
After
section.
everything, would you let me in and love me now?
So we're about to get into the bridge, which I'm really excited about. But I like this line of take me back to when we were young again. It's a really, again, a very much relatable lyric that a lot of his listeners are going to be relating to, but also it really tells us the story of like this was a young love that was very, I'm sure, very passionate, very exciting, but just didn't end well, and they're no longer on speaking terms, but he still has like a yearning towards rekindling that love, right? And it's just really nice. It's a really profound song in my opinion. So let's hear that bridge.
You know I'd fly away with you if you asked me to.
I like the imagery of flying.
For one more day.
Here you go. Short and sweet bridge. Very, very nice. I like this imagery of like flying away, especially with this lyric video of the clouds. It almost makes me believe that like this love story that he's talking to us about is maybe like in his perception and his mind a little more fantastical than it really is. This idea that he would do anything for this person and maybe puts this person up on a pedestal a little bit, but ultimately they are not together. It did not work out. I don't know. These are just my opinions, as obviously this is what this is about, but I really enjoy his songwriting. I think he really has a nice way with words. He can really tell a story that is very poetic, but also just very relatable, which I can appreciate.
If I showed up at your doorstep, would you turn me away?
I like this like pulled back piano.
Would you care to see a stranger whose eyes are still the same?
I love that. Whose eyes are still the same or something. That was really pretty. As we know, Joshua Bassett is very good at riffs, but I have to appreciate them. I have to.
Take me or leave me, I'm going home, but I'd rather be going your way. So would you love me now? Take me back to when we were young again.
What a great line.
Darling, would you love me now? After everything, would you let me in and love me now?
hope she would.
Would you love me? Would you love me? Would you love me now? Oh.
Very nice. Very nice job. I also really enjoy the piano aspect of the song. This makes the song really easy to sing live. If you wanted to just have it be more like a simple performance of him just on the keys, like that would work out really well. And I've seen him do this through some live videos I've seen online. And I think that that's just a wonderful addition to the song, just to make it a bit more intimate and personal, which this clearly is for him. And it's just really pretty. The dun 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 dun, that general melody is played over a lot in the song within the piano and also within the melody of the lyrics, and it's just kind of like the overall musical theme of the song, which again, like, it's really cool. I will say doing musical themes like in pop songs like that is not super common, I would say, like in the piano like that you also incorporate it into the melody. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I really appreciate his artistry in this song. So does it still hold up? I think so. I think there's a place for this song for that person who is broken up with somebody, but its time has passed and they still want to pursue that relationship. I think there's definitely a place this song would definitely help that individual maybe work through that situation in their life, or just gain some like comfort by knowing that someone like Joshua Bassett has also experienced this. So I think it still holds up. I think it's still a great song. I still listen to it a lot, actually, and I know the words by heart. I know all these songs, and I think as we get into this, I think I'm going to continue to like them and continue to say they're holding up, but let's see. Okay, then on October 13th, he released She Said, He Said, She Said, which is different in vibe from Would You Love Me Now? So let's get into it. Very much a vibe shift.
I saw you in the back of the room taking shots with your friends again. You talk shit like you always do. I guess high school never ends. You sure got a lot to say when you're talking on my name. You sure got a lot to say, but did you tell him everything? Oh, and when you dance with the devil gon' dance with you. Oh, when you play with fire, the flame's gon' burn you too.
Okay, so very much a different vibe from Would You Love Me Now? And we have a bit more of a mature subject matter going on here. We're talking about drinking and getting into, some... We're also cursing, just lots of a bit more just like mature subject material for Joshua Bassett. And he's clearly angry with what's been going on. And it's just a very different overall vibe. I'm remembering, back in October of 2022, I was like, whoa, what is this song? What are we about to get into? But let's get into it.
Starting rumors, it's nothing new yet. We're on the shit again. She said, he said, she said, just can't get over.
I love the beat.
Let's put this shit to bed. She said, he said, she said. 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 She said, he said, she said.
Okay, again, chorus breakdown. There's a really interesting like dance beat going on, very like electronic, and like I could certainly see a club playing the song and people getting really riled up about it. It's just really different for him. I find he doesn't do a lot of his stuff is ballads, and even if he does stuff that's more like upbeat, it's still very much like ballad in style, if that makes any sense. So this is super different for him, which I really like. I think it's great to see some variety from him. I definitely love his ballads, and he has a wonderful tone for that, just like more soft, like singing style. But I think that this is really fun to listen to. It really gets you up and dancing, and it's very like fast paced, and even though there's some faster singing going on, I can mostly understand the words. I will say there were some that I'm kind of like, what are you saying? But his diction's pretty good for the most part, so that's wonderful. There's just a lot of really good things happening in this song.
Night ends and you call me again, say you didn't mean what you said. But drunk talks are sober thoughts, so don't act so innocent.
That's a great line. Drunk talks are sober thoughts, so don't act all innocent. It's a great line. It's a great lyric.
I can't keep playing games when your rules are always changing. So
Like that's another great line. I can't keep playing games if your rules are always changing. That's a great lyric. That's just a good lyric.
sorry, you can save it. Oh,
Also, sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot. I also really like the production of the song, just making it a bit more like of a dancey, electronic-y vibe with the echoes and stuff. It's just very different production-wise from stuff he's done previously. So I think that's really cool.
with the devil gon' dance with you. Oh, when you play with fire, the flames gon' burn you too. You're starting rumors, it's nothing new.
I love these chorus. I think it's so much fun to sing along.
She said, just can't get over. I let you go, yeah. Let's put this shit to bed. She said, he said, she said. 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 She said, he said, she said.
So we're about to get into the bridge, but I like this overall theme of just people starting rumors, talking badly about you, and you having to hear about it from somebody else, about this person who like you maybe thought you were close to. It's just not a fun time, right? So I think that he's just expressing his feelings. Who he's talking about, I don't know. I don't really think it matters. I think art is, once it's put out there, it's up to interpretation, and I think putting your own perspective and your own experiences onto a song is incredibly normal and common, and you should do it because that's kind of the point. Even though they're telling their own specific story, you can interpret it in a completely different way or the same way just by having similar experiences. Regardless, put whatever you want to on this song, whatever it means for you. But that's clearly what he's trying to express, which is definitely, again, a very relatable thing. Very relatable. Lots of people have experienced this, and I think you should talk about it. If it is gonna be something that's just like sitting inside you and you feel like you need to express it, then express it through song. Is great. Awesome. Perfect. Love that. All right, let's get into this bridge. Oh, here we go. Eighth bridge.
So thin.
There you go. I love this part.
We're on the shit again. She said, he said, she said, just can't get off.
That like the da 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 da. That is so cool. Like that is such a cool effect. Really love that.
I let you go, yeah. Let's put this shit to bed. She said, he said, she said.
That is such a fun song. Really interesting vibe, very different for him, and it's overall a really cool song. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I really love it. I think if you're ever like in a bit of an angry mood, maybe you're a bit like pissed, this is a great song to listen to and just be like, ugh, I hate this person. Ah. I think that's a great one to do that with. All right, moving onward in this incredible month that we had last year. Okay, then we get into I'm Sorry, which was released on October 20th of 2022. Okay, so it's very interesting that we're going from she said, he said, she said, to I'm Sorry. So you have to think about like maybe there's a through line storyline with all these songs. You know, maybe he was broken up with, or they broke up and Would You Love Me Now, but he wants to rekindle the love. Maybe the love is rekindled, but he finds out that this person is saying stuff about him behind his back with she said, he said, she said, and now we have I'm Sorry. Who knows? I'm creating the story for myself. It's probably not what it is, but it's just interesting the order of these songs, right? We have to keep that in mind as we're looking at this as a whole month. Why were they released one week after the other in this specific order? You know, we can come up with our theories if we want to, but overall, there seems to be a correlation. At least that's what I think. So, I'm Sorry. Let's get into it. Oh, different vibe with guitar.
thought about what I would say, but I'm 2 years too late. I can't imagine how you're doing these days. Sure, it wasn't perfect back then, I'll be first to admit, but it was better than being strangers again. Oh, I'm drunk too late talking to the moon.
I like this pre-chorus.
Writing songs I can't sing to you, 'cause ever since that day, the things I didn't say, they haunt me. Oh, and I know that I'm to blame, so go ahead and blame it on me. Oh, I know that I'm too late, but I'll say it anyway. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He clearly has a lot of feelings to express with this song. Wow, what a different vibe between She Said, He Said, She Said to this, right? Just thinking about maybe how you were at that time, but definitely how I was. I was blasting She Said, He Said, She Said. And then going to I'm Sorry, it's just such a difference, right? It's a bit jarring, but there's just so much here. Very similar to Would You Love Me Now in the style of songwriting, and also in his approach with his vocalizing in between verses and lyrics. I think that's just a thing that he does. He's just good at singing and wants us to know, and that's totally okay. And it's really beautiful of just pretty much taking the blame for this, I'm assuming, a relationship ending. I think with this idea of being too late with your apology is also contributing to this idea of growth of, you know, maybe at the time I couldn't admit my faults, but now I can because I have grown since that experience, which is, again, very relatable, but also just for him and just specifically with his experiences that we know of as a public, within the public, right? That's really awesome to see.
I'm sorry, though it's far too late. And it was me, it wasn't you. It's cliche, but it's true. I wasn't thinking how I usually do. Oh, and is your mama doing well? Or does she hate me still? But
I will say that line about asking if her mom is doing well still, or does she hate him, like, that's such a relatable thing. You know, when you are in a relationship with somebody and you get close with their family and then you break up, and it just feels like you've been stripped totally from this group of people that, like, you became really close with, and now they're just, like, no longer a part of your life. It's just very strange, and it's just a weird element of, like, being in a relationship that you just don't think about until it's gone, and you're like, oh, I really miss those people. I wish I was still able to talk to them.
It was hard to watch me put you through hell. I'm drunk too late talking to the moon.
I will say, again, like, we're talking about drinking and, like, alcohol abuse, and it's really interesting to hear about that from him. I think I talked about that in one of my previous Joshua Bassett videos, just because I was so used to seeing him on the show that it's just weird hearing his music where he's, you know, older and a bit more mature and obviously partakes in these things. He is within his right to do so, but it's just it still sometimes gets me because I'm like, you're a child, right? But he's not.
Ooh, writing songs I can't sing to you, 'cause ever since that day, the things I didn't say, they haunt me. Oh, I know that I'm to blame, so go ahead and blame it on me. Oh,
that's a great rhyme. Haunt me and blame it on me. Like, obviously they both are rhyming with me, but the idea of those two, like the connection, I think is really well done.
I know that I'm too late, but I'll say it anyway. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
message.
If you ever hear this, I hope you know that I'm not proud of who I've been. Ooh. And if I see you again, I hope you know that I wish you nothing but the best. And my biggest regret, ever since that day, the things I didn't say, they haunt me. I know that I'm to blame, so go ahead and blame it on me. Ooh, I know that I'm too late, but I'll say it anyway. I'm sorry.
This is such a wonderful song. Again, with this musical theme, it's so strong.
I'm sorry.
This is so nice. This song really does hold up. I think it definitely has a place in his repertoire and in, fans' heads. It's a really nice song to signify his growth, but also signify his own regret and whatever that was about, and just recognizing your own faults, but also recognizing that when you are in love with somebody and you are in a relationship, you need to be in love with yourself as well, and be able to not rely on them to validate you, but to feel comfortable and confident enough in your own self in order to be present in that relationship and be a good partner. So there's a lot going on here lyrically, and I think it's really awesome to see, and I think he's done a lot of growth, at least from previous music to then, and even a year later with his new release of Just Love and things like that. I think it's really awesome to see his growth, and I think it's really it still is a great song. It's still a great song to listen to. Okay, we are ending today's video with the final release of this wonderful month of October last year, which was different, which was released on October 27th of 2022. I don't really have much to say about this song, so let's just get right into it.
Darling, how I missed you. 2 years, not even friends. And I'm trying not to kiss you.
Right, there's a correlation to this with the previous song. Obviously, because he's talking about 2 years, not even friends, and then the last one he said, I'm sorry, but I'm 2 years too late. I forget the exact lyric, but that's how he starts it. So now we have the connection from I'm sorry to different is maybe he went to her, he said he's sorry, but now... Okay, let's get into it. This is an interesting storyline that we've developed here.
Cause we've seen how this can end. And my therapist would kill me if she knew that I was here. But no one knows me like you know me, dear. And no one holds me how you hold me, dear. I'm back in your arms, but everything's changed. Now we've been to hell. My biggest regret was walking away. I'm not gonna make the same mistake. I know you're afraid we'll end up the same. And the truth is we might. But if we do this thing right, maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time it'll be different.
Okay. So he's reconnecting with this person, right? He's reconnecting with this person, and he wants to get back into this. And he's thinking, you know what? Maybe we can make this work, because maybe this time it'll be different. And again, very relatable, very much relatable feeling of getting back into something that you think could be different this time around. Typically not how it goes, but some people can do it and make it work, and that's awesome. But anyways, it's really, really nice stuff going on vocally. As we know, Joshua Bassett has a great control over his range, and he really is able to work through that higher range very nicely. But at the chorus, I'm back in your arms and everything's changed. We've been a hell and back again. Really nice, really beautiful. It's just sounding really good. So let's get into more.
Now I'm late to catch your red. I didn't think we'd end up here. Yeah, I'm already on cloud 9. Don't wanna head back down the stairs. And I didn't think you'd kiss me, but I'm too in love to care. So kiss me slow before I go, my dear. I'm back in your arms, but everything's changed. Now we've been to hell and back again. My biggest regret was walking away. I'm not gonna make the same mistake. I know you're afraid we'll end up the same, and the truth is we might. But if we do this thing right, maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time it'll be different.
It's a very nice sentiment. It's a very nice idea. Again, with the vocalizing in between the lyrics, the right before I paused, he went, very pretty, very nice. Like, again, we have this cloud theme with the visuals for the lyric video, and I don't necessarily know how they relate. I know that like Would You Love Me Now had the clouds too, but like in different color. So I don't know. If you have any theories, let me know.
Make me yours and I'm not leaving. I know for sure you're all I needed. I can't believe I didn't see it. We took our time to space. I'm back in you.
Isn't that such a nice little bridge? That's such a nice bridge, honestly, for thinking about the overall storyline of all these songs to just wrap it up. So now thinking back, I was expecting there after this song to be another release the following week. But now just looking at this song more closely, I'm realizing that he did a good job of just kind of like wrapping it up, making it make sense of like, yeah, we took the time we needed away from each other and we're going to work through this. It's going to be better. And I think that is really cool. And I just never noticed that before. But obviously now looking at it more closely, I'm picking up on these little things. And I think it's just wrapping up this storyline so perfectly. Even if there is a storyline or not. I don't know, but I'm making it for myself. And then with the bridge overlaying the chorus, very nice.
My biggest regret was walking away. I'm not gonna make the same mistake. I know you're afraid we'll end up the same, and the truth is we might. But if we do this thing right, maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time it'll be different.
Okay, so my final thoughts are, if this was intentional, then I think the storyline overall really holds up. And if you are a Joshua Bassett fan, you will just eat this up because it is so glorious. Just the overall like arc of who this person is and getting into the whole like storyline of these 4 songs. This could be its own like EP if he wanted to just like release it like that instead of these like individual releases. Like make it like October 2022 EP. I don't know. I think they all really fit well together, and I think it's just because he's singing and writing about things that he's experienced, and it's hard for him to not talk about experiences that he's had that are similar or the same experience, but just in different ways and different songs. So it all works for me. Does it still hold up today? Absolutely it does. I think if you haven't listened to these songs, you absolutely should. And if you have, but just it's been a while, you should definitely revisit it, and you should definitely listen to it in order and maybe think about if there's a storyline in it for you, and if there is, like what are your theories? I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you have any specific theories or like your own storyline that you've created for these songs. I think it's super interesting, and I thought it would be a fun idea for a video to just kind of like revisit these songs a year later and see if they still hold up, and also piece together that storyline a bit more, because I definitely didn't do it in the moment, but now having all those 4 songs, I really am able to do that. So this was lots of fun. All right, everybody. Well, that was me analyzing, looking at these 4 songs. Would You Love Me Now? She Said, He Said, She Said, I'm Sorry and Different by Joshua Bassett. If you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel as I post videos weekly at this point in time, and click that post notifications button so you can get notified every single time I upload a new video. You are more than welcome to follow me on my social media platforms, which will be linked down below. And hey, if you are interested in getting some voice lessons from me, I do have some space in my studio right now, and you are welcome to reach out to me directly via Instagram. Okay, everybody, well, that was me getting into all these songs a year later. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.